History is a people's memory. And without a history, man is demoted to the lower animals. Malcolm X. Get down.
Let's take a verse from my man called Miles. Cause seems to me he's gonna be around for a long while. Cause he's a multi-talented and gifted musician who can play any position. It's no mystery that you're no risk to me. Cause I'm the love until your girl to throw a kiss to me. And hop in bed and have a fight with the pillow. Turn off the lights and let the J give it to you. And let the trumpet blow as I kick this. This rap is fundamental and Miles sounds so wicked. A little taste of the bebop sound with the backdrop of doo-hop. And this is why we call it the doo-wop, the doo-wop.
Salute. How y'all doing? My name is Derek Williams. Shout out to Vibes J. Vibes J, I roll with you, girl. Far Rockaway and all that good stuff. And shout out to my new best friend, Hassan Campbell. For some reason, folks they just get so triggered. When I call this boy my new best friend, I just don't understand it. So, to my new best friend, what it do, Hassan Campbell? Sometimes I just kill myself. But as y'all know, I'm just one boy. In the comment section on YouTube, the title of this presentation will simply be called Malcolm X. Malcolm X, born Malcolm Little, was born in Omaha, Nebraska on this day, May 19th, 1925, to Earl Little and Louise Norton Little. Malcolm's parents were Garveyites, which meant that they followed the teachings of the Honorable Marcus Garvey. And he was a very outspoken preacher. His father was. His father died under mysterious circumstances. And this actually affected Malcolm growing up. And there was a lot of racism, obviously, during this time. And years went on, and Malcolm's mother had a nervous breakdown. And him and his other brothers and sisters were sent away to various foster homes. I'm just pretty much calling all this stuff off the top of my head. So if I leave out some things, y'all understand. There's just so much about this great man that you can follow. Alex Haley did a book entitled Autobiography of Malcolm X, one of the seminal prose of the 20th century, without question, one of the greatest books ever written. And growing up in Mississippi, we were actually frightened of Malcolm X. Because of what was said about him. And that just goes to show you how I love my home, but the public school system and even my parents, they never really spoke too much about Malcolm X. We only just saw little news clips where he was always railing against the white man, and that scared us. And it wasn't until I came to Philadelphia actually, and I actually started doing my own reading, and a lot of people that I would meet from New York City, Newark, New Jersey. Shout out to Tom Odom, and my man from Delaware. You know, people like that that actually schooled me. I actually learned about Malcolm X through Farrakhan, oddly enough. And the more I got into Malcolm X, I started to see what a great man he really was, and I just felt so stupid to not know him growing up in Mississippi. But essentially, Malcolm X was a petty criminal. He's actually his street name was called Detroit Red because of his his reddish hair. A factoid that many people don't talk about is the fact that he was befriended by a man named John Sanford. Now, you may not know who John Sanford is, but John Sanford went on to change his name to Red Fox from the show Sanford and Son. And so Malcolm X and Red Fox were actually friends in New York City. Malcolm X also was a great orator. He spoke eloquently. Too many people couldn't really touch this man, and he was a high school dropout, which goes to show you, you can read a book and run people clean off the earth with what you know. I know myself. I only just went to 12th grade myself, but I read and I know I can go toe to toe with a master's, a person that went to school for 8 years. I know that. And the thing is that you can pick up a book and you learn so much, and it also helps to have some common sense and just some worldly experience as well. But this man went toe to toe with some of the greatest speakers during that time and vanquished all of them. But his biggest accomplishment, in my opinion, is that he empowered you. Even from the grave, this man empowered me to be my best self. And for that, I have to salute Malcolm X. One of the reasons I read as much as I do, aside from the golden era hip hop that I came up with, was essentially seeing how Malcolm X read. He read the dictionary. Legend has it that his favorite word is the first word in the dictionary, which is aardvark, and that was just always funny to me. But it's funny that in this sense, in that my favorite word in the dictionary is an A word also. It's called anachronism, something that's obsolete or something in the past. Actually, when I was living in Chicago, I was in the citywide spelling bee and got knocked out in the first round behind anachronism. And I always heard it but never knew how to spell it. And I got knocked out first round, but I know how to spell it today. But my favorite word in the dictionary is anachronism. But as you all know, Malcolm was the greatest purveyor of Islam for black people. He actually moved black men to pick themselves up. He was the national representative for Elijah Muhammad, born Elijah Poole. And for me, he was actually greater than Elijah Muhammad. And as we know, Elijah Muhammad sat him down after Kennedy was killed when he made the famous phrase, the chickens have came home to roost, which mean that all the violence that our government had spread around the world, now some of that violence is coming here. Elijah Muhammad sat him down for 90 days, if memory serves. And during this time, Malcolm X had found out that Elijah Muhammad was having sex with underage girls and impregnating them. And from that point on, it never was the same. Malcolm X went to Mecca and did his Hajj. I think all Muslims are required in their lifetime to at least do Hajj one time. So over there, he found out that all white people ain't devils. So he came back with a greater worldview. And I would say the same thing. I know all white people ain't devils. Again, shout out to the wise one. Shout out to the Manic Asylum. Shout out to Eric Perillo. These are some good white boys, at least from what I see on YouTube. All white folks ain't devils, but you got some black devils showing up. All right. But during this time, Malcolm X's home was firebombed. Had to get his kids out of there. I actually have Malcolm X's last speech in which he talked about that evening. And essentially he said himself, he told Mike Wallace, he said, oh yes, I'm probably a dead man already for for what he knew and what he could possibly expose about the Nation of Islam. The fact is that Elijah Muhammad did father teenage girls, all of them secretaries if memory serves me. And in the middle of February of 1965 at the Audubon Ballroom, Malcolm X was gunned down by people that looked like him. Now some say it was just radical, some old hard rock zealots in the Nation of Islam. Some people believe it was the FBI plot, all type of stuff. But the fact is, somebody that looked like me shot down in front of his children and wife, mind you, one of the greatest leaders of black men, or black people I should say, has ever had in this country. And so I just wanted to make this little quick video to salute that man. And I'm going to continue my reading and research so that I can be my best self. And so again, salute to Malcolm X, one of the greatest leaders ever in my opinion. So again, all y'all take care. Save for my detractors. Malcolm also used to say greetings to friends and enemies. He always recognized enemies were everywhere. But again, like I said, all y'all take care. Save for my detractors. Greenville, Mississippi till I die.